Dan Bell here with Bell Certified, continuing our discussion of the 102E flowcharts in the MPEP at 706.02F1. This is the second reference that we found. Again, we hope to use this as a 102E reference. We found language in this that we want to invalidate a patent with, and we want to know if we can get back to earlier filing dates. We notice that we have a patent here. This is a U.S. patent 6809649. And that sounds to us like flowchart 1. It's a U.S. patent here. And is there a national stage entry? Is the question that we first need to answer. Let's look and see. So 649 is U.S. patent. We look down and we see that there is this is a U.S. filing date. There's nothing said here about foreign filing in this, or PCT filing, and so it looks like this is just going to be a plain Jane 102E U.S. filing date. But we go ahead and we go to the public pair, and which we looked at above. I'll look at it again real quick here. This is the site here. We'd put the patent number in here, click patent number, click search here, and this is available at the USPTO website, and it should come up with some tabs at the top that we can use to find out additional information. We're interested if there's any continuing data. We want to know if this has a parent, whether it relies on a earlier filed PCT or foreign, and that sort of thing. And our continuing data here shows that it has 2 children, but no parent data is found. We're also curious about what published, so we can click this tab here, what published, and it'll come up with this, and it'll tell us indeed that this 649 patent published on or issued on October 26, 2004, and there's no indication anywhere that we have any sort of PCT filing date. And so since this is a plain Jane publication, and since there's no international application, we don't care what date we apply the new 102E to it. And even though it's filed back in January 26, 1999, we don't care. There's no international application here, and so we apply this as a 102E2 reference. And so let's peek at where the flowchart would find that information out for us. So there's no national stage entry. The answer is no over here. Is there an international application in the continuity chain? We checked on public pair. There is no benefit claim to an international application. So the answer is no, and this is the case as it says here, no international application involved. The reference was filed at 111A and only claims benefit to other U.S. applications filed under 111A or B, or does not make any benefit claims. In this case, it doesn't make any benefit claims that we could find. It had children but no parents. It says the 102E date of the reference is the earliest U.S. filing date for which benefit is properly sought. Just to round things off here, it looks like we would be in leaf node 1, and our 102E date would be the U.S. filing date. We could get back to January 26, 1999. That's our second reference, a straightforward, typical 102E application. We have enough time. Let's look at another reference. Again, we've searched, we've found language that we need. It's in this reference by Quinn, which is a U.S. patent 6865172, and this is the invalidating language we need. We scroll down and we see that we indeed have, in this case, we have this is a Nokia Corporation patent filed in January 26, 1999. The PCT application was filed September 12, 1997, and so this later date is the U.S. application. And so we begin to wonder, is this a national stage entry, or is this a continuation application filed with a benefit claim under 120? We do see that we have a PCT application number here, and we have a C124 date of January 26, 1999. And since the date of our PCT application appears to be before the November 29th date, well before it, this would be old 102E, and so the only thing that would have a 102E date for this, there would be no publications of this international application that would serve as a 102E date. The only thing that would serve would be an issued national stage entry. And so we want to find out more about this application. We want to verify that it's a national stage entry. And so we go, as I've showed you, we go to public pair, we put in that patent number here, click patent number, click search, and let's see what these tabs all come up, and indeed it tells us that this patent is a national stage entry of this PCT application number. We're also curious, what other, we're curious about the foreign here. Now remember, foreign doesn't have a 102E date, so that won't help us. But we're curious. We haven't found whether the WIPO published yet. We're going to have to check that on the WIPO webpage. We'll look at that, but let's just look also, and if we click this to see if there was a U.S. publication, and we find out that there was no U.S. publication, just the patent. And so and now this is think about it, this is a patent on a national stage entry, and so it's starting to look like the C124 date that we saw on the front of the patent is going to be our 102E date. But we can verify that. It looks like this will probably be our 102E date, which is about 2 years after the PCT filing, or not quite, a year and a half or whatever. So let's go over and look at, now we remember we looked at this WIPO web page here. We can go here, we'll put in that PCT number or the publication number, and we should be able to pull up the WIPO here. That would pull up, and we can look and see. Now remember we're old 102E, right? And so we're not too concerned about what languages this is published in, right? We don't care about the language. It's interesting to look and see. It was indeed published. It was in this case in Finnish. That's not going to hurt us. We're still going to get the C124 date. We'll notice that the U.S. was designated, which it would have to be. We wouldn't have a national stage entry in the U.S. if the U.S. wasn't designated here. And so let's look back at our patent here and make some final decisions about where we are on this. It looks to me like we've got a C124 date here, which is the patent office has given us. And so let's peek at the flow chart and see how this happens. Now, it's a national stage entry, yes. Was it filed on or after November 29th? No, it wasn't. It was filed before. For the patent, the 102E date is the C124 date. So we found that date, and we found out that we're in leaf 7, right? I've split this leaf in two because it's two different results. 8 is for a U.S. application. There's no 102E date, right? And that's also true of the, it's worth peeking over here for a minute because we did have a WIPO publication. We had a WIPO publication, right? We looked at it, and was it filed on or after this? No, it wasn't. No 102E date. So that WIPO publication, it has no 102E effect. And so that rounds us out for this patent. We have a filing date, and we have a C124 date, which is our 102E date, and the thing that calls that to action is the issuance of the national phase. I'm going to continue with the next patent, the 256 patent, on the next video. I'll chat with you shortly. Dan Bell, Bell Certified, teaching patent prosecution and litigation services.